So yeah, I asked because today it's quite a very specific Tinker session. I wouldn't say it's an advanced Tinker session, but it's not a beginner either. I'm showing something very specific that we are able to do now that there is a feature that is called mention. Basically, it's a way to call GPTs. So GPTs, everybody know what are the GPTs now. These are these small autonomous, not autonomous, but small. We could call them AI agents that do something well, and that you can do your own GPTs for yourself that do a task, very specific task, or you can use GPTs that have been done by others. And so now you can mention the GPTs within a conversation, and it opens some new possibilities. And one of them that I've been exploring is the one that I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so shall we start? Yep, good, excellent. So I'm going to show you. So this is ChatGPT, obviously. One of the problem I have with ChatGPT is that I'm I'm dealing with a lot of projects. I've been the founder of Storms for 12 years, and since a couple of years, I've launched several side projects. So I have Spark It Up, which is my new AI venture, and I have the AI Thinkers Club, and also I'm launching this new card deck. Hey, Curtis, nice to see you.
You.
Hello to all of you who just joined right now. We also have Bob coming in. So yeah, I was saying I have multiple projects. And the problem is that each one of these projects is a separate context. Okay, so when I want to work on a project, I want ChatGPT to be aware of the context of the project. And the only way to do that right now, the only right way to do it is to go on to customize ChatGPT. And then you have what is called the custom instructions. So custom instructions, each time you start a conversation in ChatGPT, these are injected into the beginning of the conversation. So here you see that I'm telling ChatGPT, I'm the creator of Storm, Spark It Up, the AI Thinkers Club. And I'm putting 3 lines for each one of the project so that it knows a little bit about what I'm doing. And also you can indicate your writing styles. So for me, it's very important because I write a lot of content. I hate the way ChatGPT write by default. It's
Yeah.
circumambulate,
Horrible.
too complex, lots of big words, etc. I do that. So this way, when I start a new conversation in ChatGPT, if I say, what is the AI Thinkers Club? Normally it should know because of the custom instructions. But the problem is, again, I can put I am limited in terms of character, and I cannot put different context. And it's the same, for example, if I'm working on a workshop for a specific client, I would like to have a specific context. The way mention works, okay, stop, that's enough, is that now here I can a GPT by just writing the at like that, and that I have access to both my own GPTs and also the GPTs from others. And for example, my favorite GPT is the GPT that I've shared. I think it's the most important GPT in the world. It enables to do emojis, right? I start writing emo, and that it's very easy to find the GPTs. Emoji GPT, and I'm gonna tell it AI Tinker, and I want 3 alternative of this. Oh, sorry, that's not a 3. It's translating my AI Tinker into emojis. And now it's giving me 3 alternatives. So this is just the best GPT in the world. Come and get it. And we were speaking about saving the world. I think this GPT is definitely going to save the world. Bob, do you agree on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so this is how it works. The problem is, as I said, these custom instructions, first, they are limited in terms of character. And also, if I want to put documents, like in GPTs for knowledge documents, I cannot. So in fact, my system is that I'm building some, what I called Project GPTs. So I'm building a GPT for the AI Thinkers Club, a GPT for Storms, a GPT for SparkItUp that contains all the context. And because it is a GPT, I can put as much context as I want. I can put a big context in the system prompt, and I can put some knowledge documents in it. So let me show you one. If you want to find your GPTs, you have to go to Explore GPTs, then My GPTs, and then there is no way to filter. So you have to load more and finally find project. This is my project GPT. So this is really painful. And come on, OpenAI, do something better, right? So what I did is that I have in my favorite direct access to all my GPTs. So let's say that I'm working on an announcement from the AI Thinkers Club. I just have to open my favorite and ChatGPT is going to open in it. Okay, so that's just a little trick. So each time I'm doing something, I open the GPT corresponding to the project I'm doing. So if I'm doing a post about the AI Thinkers Club, I'm going to open this one. If I'm building a marketing plan for SparkItUp, I'm going to open the other one. And if you edit the GPT, that I have some instructions, custom instructions that are much more detailed with all the details about what's the AI Thinkers Club, what's in it for me in terms of value, what is the Tinker session, what is the newsletter. So I have much more information, but also I can upload some knowledge files. Okay. So here I have the 2024 Tinker program as a PDF. And soon I'm going to upload even more knowledge, all my previous posts, all my newsletters, so that it has everything it needs to understand the context of my project. So that's the first part of my system, Project GPTs. Then you launch your project. And now you can use the mention because at the same time, I've built some Task GPTs that are very specialized. So let me show you an example. So the first thing is, if I want it to work, I need to start the conversation and say, okay, let's say I want to make an announcement. No, I want to craft a message for the new members of the club. So first, I'm going to ask my Project GPT, what is the club? So that it's going to put into the context window. It's going to put into the context window a long explanation of what is the AI Thinkers Club. I need to do that because when you mention a GPT, it has only access to what is inside the conversation. Otherwise, it won't be able to know what is the AI Thinkers Club. Okay, so now I'm going to, now that I have a little bit of context in my context window, I'm going to call one of my preferred GPT, which is the one that asks powerful questions. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to call it. And I know that this GPT is going to have all the context about the club. And I'm going to say, let's reflect on the best ways to welcome a new member. ask me power questions, and it's going to use a prompt that generates powerful questions. We can have a look at the prompt if you want. So you see now it generates 3 questions, and I can reflect. I can use the AI as a way, by the way, if you follow my dream. So this is the one of the best way to use AI is to use it as a coach to ask you questions. So it doesn't give you the answer, it gives you the questions. Okay, so I can reflect on that, read the question, try to answer by myself, and then I'm going to have ideas on how to do that. But I'm lazy and I don't have the time to do that. So now I'm going to get back to I'm going to remove. So here I'm still in the reflex. Now I'm going to get back to the normal GPT and say, list ideas for a message to send to the member that takes into account the power question. So you see, I'm going back and forth between the Project GPT and a Task GPT. So incorporating the essence of the power questions. So you see what I did? I had the context in the Project GPT. Then I had a Task GPT that is really good at asking questions, that asks the questions. And these questions were taken into account by the Project GPT to start building this message. But this message is huge. I hate it. Okay. So now I'm going to use my simplified GPT. So at writing simplified task. And again, it's a very detailed prompt that gives very precise instruction to simplify a text. And I'm just going to say simplify. And normally it's going to understand that it needs to simplify the message that is previously in the conversation.
Alex, I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you make this simplify text GPT? Okay.
Yeah. So this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm having the Project GPTs for each one of my projects that are basically containers for context. And I have the Task GPTs that are, in fact, prompts that I crafted precisely just for me.
Yeah.
And that,
Yes, this message is so much better than the last one.
Yeah.
It was so long.
Yeah, maybe it stopped in between. I don't know. It's a little bit weird that it's only 3 lines now. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why it stopped. Yeah, I have to tell you, it's not perfect. There are plenty of little caveats and weirdness in the mentionings, in the way the GPTs converse together. So it doesn't always work perfectly. You have to really fine tune the way you use it. So here, now I have my text, so I can get out of this one. And maybe now I can use another. Okay. Assessments. So I have a pros and cons GPT. It's a good problem, step it up. So GPS, yeah, here, assess this message. So you see, so it thinks that it's good because it's a warm welcome, personal interest. The problem is that it lacks specific details. It's missing onboarding information. It can be overwhelming. And now it provides some step it up ideas. Make a brief introduction to key club members. Oh, that's a really good idea. I never thought about that. Make a personalized onboarding call. I already do that. I offer one-to-one call to everyone who joins. So you see how good is that? Again, assess one of my preferred way of using an AI. Yes, I see that. Sorry, I didn't see the hand.
Problem A. Question. The context window is so key here. You're having to load things in. to get the context. Yeah. Keep holding that one. That one seems so important. Are there ever a shared exactly, put it to your point.
That's a
Is there
potential
never-
activity for the card deck.
That's true. That's a good. We'll talk about that more tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Is there ever any sort of memory overflow or linkage between these different chats and threads, or are they completely siloed and segregated from each other, almost like they're on their own servers? There's no shared memory between these threads, between these context windows.
Okay, so that's a key question. Most of the time I took to set up this system was to understand what was in the context window of each one of the thing and how did they converse and collaborate together. Yeah, I start with a Project GPT. The Project GPT in itself, it knows about what was in the custom prompt. Okay.
Right.
But if I call a task, if I mention another GPT, he won't know what was in the system prompt of the other, right? So this is why, remember what I did? I started at the beginning to say what is the club so that I have that in the context window of the conversation, but and this part is available to verify. But the way I think it works, that there is no documentation. I think it works is that it sends the beginning of the conversation to the reflect GPT so that it has that in the context window. But then you can only see the reflect GPT is doing something. It has its own context window, but you get only the final result. Okay. So now when I'm here, what I got in the context window is that, okay, plus what is in custom prompt. And you continue like that. So basically you accumulate, this is the main conversation and you accumulate all your conversation within that thread. And this is what gets inside the context window.
And just to follow up on the context window,
Yeah.
since we're on it, how I've heard or read somewhere that at some point there's just too much data, it's taking up too much memory, and it begins shedding prior things in the context. It doesn't hold it all. Is this true?
Yeah. So the context window, another way to see that is like the RAM on a computer, the volatile memory. It is limited. Okay. Right. The only thing is that now the context window is much bigger. And for example, Gemini, they just released a model with a huge context window that could contain a full book in it. So soon the context window is not going to be a big problem for most of the conversation. Okay, so that's going to be very interesting because right now this is why we have the knowledge files, right? So that even if the context window is limited, you can ask it to get back to a knowledge document to find some information and put it back in the thread, okay? Yes, it is limited, but it's less and less limited, and soon maybe it won't even be a problem. But just because we need to know how it works, the way it works is let me get back to that. This is my context window, okay? It is this size. So I'm doing the first message, the first second, and up until I reach the limit. If there is no optimization, it goes like that. So meaning it's going to forget the beginning of the conversation. If it is a little bit smarter, it's going to summarize the beginning of the conversation.
Right.
And keep it. So it's like a compression. You don't lose everything, but you lose some detail. Okay.
That was a very good visual demonstration. Would you put your hands up like that again? And I'll snap a screenshot of your context window. I love it. Yeah, nice.
Like that. Oh,
very good. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Yes.
I told you this card deck. Everybody needs a Gen AI card deck.
I probably have the.
Matteo, you have a question.
I think I've understood the process that allows you to call GPTs to help your GPT memorize or remember what you were talking about at the beginning so that it comes into the conversation. Whereas it might not be the subject of the conversation, but where I'm struggling is how do you know if what you're outputting is actually effective in the sense that if my intent is to welcome a new user and I just hit enter and that email goes out and it's automatic, I'm not exactly building a relationship with that new user, and I don't know if that's just going straight to spam or what's happening afterwards.
So what the use case I was and the demonstration I was doing was typically when you log onto the AI Thinkers platform, there is an automated message, right? I cannot write a custom message each time someone log onto the platform, right? So this custom message has to be welcoming and give enough information and then give the opportunity to call me if we want to have a real conversation. So this is it is an automated message, but it's an important message to give the right level of information, but not too much, etc. So that was the use case. But I'm not using an automated system to create messages on the fly to the members. It's just to help me craft the message, the welcome message. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. Any other questions? Would you like to see one of the prompts? We have 10
How
minutes.
many custom GPTs have you created already, Alex?
Not so many, because in fact, I missed some time. I would really need more time. So,
You always write a GPT to write GPTs for you.
yeah. So I really hate what they've done. There is no way to sort by, I don't even know. I think they are sorted by the last one
Yeah.
So I have one to translate, the GPS, the reflect. I have some for Spark It Up that generates landing pages. This one was a trial, the Roast My Business. I don't really remember. Roast My Business. Oh, this one could be cool as a, oh no, look at that. Come on, OpenAI, I'm working for you. I'm making some promotion of your product and now I cannot use it anymore.
Oh my.
What the fuck? Sorry, excuse my French. So this one would be also a very good Task GPT. So you use it in the context of a new product you're launching and you don't have to repeat your context. It knows everything.
Yeah. Alex, I have a question.
Yeah.
Somebody I was talking to last week said that his work has banned ChatGPT, as many companies have, but he still wants to figure out if there's a way he can use like the power of custom GPTs without risking the loss of like company data.
Mm-hmm.
Of any secure way of doing GPTs or something like that? It's a small business and their like IT director is paranoid.
Yeah, if she's paranoid and they forbid to use ChatGPT, this person must do nothing because otherwise it will be considered as trying to, if it is banned. But then you other than that, there is a way, I don't remember the exact link, but there is a link to opt out of OpenAI data training.
Ah,
Yeah. No, not this. Here.
okay.
There is a link. I've done it. So everybody should do that, by the way.
Yeah.
It's something that I don't remember. I'm going to post the link in the forum so that you have it. So I've done it quite a long time ago. And it also depends on the kind of account you have, the kind of subscription you have. Here. Oh no, this one is I think that this link is outdated. Doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so there is a link where you can opt out so that your data is not used for training purpose. So this way, normally, if you trust OpenAI, they won't use your data, and your data you don't risk anything. Obviously, you need to trust OpenAI for that. And if your company CTO, privacy and security officer, said, don't use ChatGPT, even if you opt out, don't use it because you're going to be fired for that.
Yeah.
Shimori Bushi, I think you have a question.
Yes, I do think you, Alex. I appreciated the information that you shared and some of the tips. I am curious. I have a couple questions. You showed us things like assessing and reflecting and using the @ sign to bring up other GPTs. But does that just automatically work? Because I go to it and I put in the @ sign and I don't have all the cool tools that you have. Like, how do I access those? Would be my first question. And then how do we learn more about some of the cool companies that you watch, like Spark?
So first question, GPTs. I really normally, let me see if I did it. Yes, I really advise you to look at on the recording section. There was a Tinker session about GPTs. So you're going to learn how to do your own GPTs because all the GPTs that I've shown today are GPTs that I created myself. And my experience is I never use the GPTs of others. I don't know why, but I don't like using them. I use some very specialized GPTs that do some very tiny stuff that I did myself. This one I use a lot. So you can create your own GPTs, or as I said, if you don't, so the way to create your GPTs, you go to create, and then there is all of that. But look at the video and you're going to learn how to do that. Otherwise, you can just...
Are you showing something on the screen?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot. So these are the GPTs from others. And I think it's very difficult to use them because they are...
You don't know how they were constructed.
Yeah, and they are not constructed for you. So, yeah. And here you have your own GPTs that you can create yourself. For example, if you look at the Assess GPT, it's a very simple one. It's just a custom prompt here, custom instructions, and not big. But at least I don't have to write that down every time. And I'm using a framework. If you remember my prompt engineering course, guiding with a framework is one of the best ways to get some good results. And we've seen that. We got some absolutely good results with just this simple prompt.
Is GPT the best compared to any of the other platforms? If I were to invest in one, buy a pro version, I know there's Gemini and maybe a couple others.
Yeah, two months ago, the answer to the question was very easy. It was ChatGPT the best and GPT-4. And since a couple of weeks, now you have several versions of Gemini. You say Gemini or Gemini in the US?
Yeah, Gemini.
Yeah, of Gemini that seems to be on par with GPT-4. You have Claude 3 that seems to be really good too. But for both of them, you don't have access in France, so I was not able to use them. Yeah, Gemini, we have only access to the version that is not really good, not as good as GPT-4. But the advanced one and the Pro 1-5, I think we don't have access. And Claude 3, we never had access to any Claude.
Okay. Yeah, I like Claude because it's better at writing things that sound human.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT is not. I
know that. But I cannot. If I go on the website of what's their name? Anthropic.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
And I do talk to Claude now. And maybe it changed.
I remember hearing when ChatGPT first came out and got banned in Italy, that number of people in Italy who searched for VPNs went way up.
Look at that.
I'm surprised.
Verify a mobile number. Now try to find the French flag. Ecuador, Estonia, Falkland, Faroe. Oh! No, it works. Last time I checked, it wasn't available. So maybe I can, maybe we can do a Tinker session on Claude if I can have access to it. Okay.
Cool.
Mm.
Also, tell us a little bit about how we can learn more about your other companies. And quick question just for the group. I was talking with a girlfriend of mine about AI, and she was telling me she knows these, I don't know, genius guru guys that put on these events. I want to learn more about it. But they said that if all companies don't figure out how to incorporate or integrate or pivot in ways to utilize AI technology, they are sure to die within 18 months. Is that an assessment you all believe?
It's a little bit
Extreme. Yeah.
that there is maybe a little bit of truth behind it, maybe not in that timing, but I don't see one single company not looking at AI right now. It would be weird not to look at least and not to
Unless
look
you're
at
banning it.
all the opportunities.
Alexander, can I just come in there for a sec?
Yeah.
I'm just about finalizing a survey of directors, and the statistics suggest that it's nowhere near 100% of boards are looking at the use of AI. So it's exposing the fact that there are many boards that are not comfortable with this and don't know how to start. So it's interesting to see that there's still that inertia, if you like. But to your earlier comment, I think it's not that there's going to be a big bang AI explosion that blows you out of the water. I think it's going to be death by 1,000 cuts. Gradually, your competitors, if you're not using AI, I think your competitors are going to find the productivity savings and are gradually going to inch away from you. And then in a while, you'll discover yourself in a backwater and everyone else is left. That'd be my perspective on it.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't believe we're going to get AGI soon, contrary to what
Sam
people are saying. Yeah, because he needs to raise a lot of money. So he sells the AGI being very, very close. And just to answer your question, I have so many projects now that I created a new website where I list all my activities. So I've put the link in the chat if you want to have a look. And you'll know about Storms, my facilitation agency, Spark It Up, which is the visual AI coach, the AI Thinkers Club now, and I really love the Gen AI card deck. It's really my pet project that I'm doing right now. By the way, which is a perfect answer to board and committees not being
Comfortable.
at ease with Gen AI.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's already 51. So next week, we're going to innovate with a Q&A Tinker session. You come with your questions. We put them into a platform. We either vote or we randomly pick one, and then we tinker by answering the question. And we do that until we reach the end of the session. So it's going to be fun.